October 18, 2022 is a Tuesday. Bring
Tuesday.
meeting to order at 11:30. Hey, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Can you hear us? We're okay.
That should darken it.
Okay.
Okay, first item on the agenda is roll call. Trustee Unlock, not here. Trustee Akiza, here. Trustee Rosie,
Here.
Trustee St. Nicholas,
Present.
Leo Valles, present. We have a quorum, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Approval of minutes, did you guys get a chance to look at August 16 and September 28? I read up on that. Any question?
No.
Motion to accept minutes of August 16 and August and September 20th.
I saw your hand here.
I second it.
Motion move by, motion on the floor by trustee Rosie, seconded by trustee Akiza. Any question, any discussion?
No, ma'am.
Let's vote. Aye.
Hi.
Trustee Lu? Aye. Ayes have it, thank you. Calendar, ACT conference November 30. It's a big problem, no rooms. I will not go if I don't have a room.
This is according to Ms. Joyce, she still is checking.
Okay, can who?
And
CEO, are you on?
Miss Joyce? Yes, Miss Joyce, probably did you just check the hotel or the venue, right? Because the other hotels are still available.
Yeah,
Is
some
that-
of the hotels
Okay,
are
go ahead,
available.
Louise.
Yeah, I think the one she's talking about is the one that is recommended by the ACTE conference itself. But there are some hotels that are just close by. Just like what we did in DC, Madam Faye, that was not part of the hotel that was that we get discounts from ACT itself, but there are other hotels close by.
Okay, the closest,
You-
the closest that we can be, because I will tell you this much. If you've been to the ACT conference, you're talking thousands of people there, because all educators from all over America will be there. So even if you have a public transit, you cannot just be confident that you'll be able to get the mass transit with less people. Quite sure a lot of these guys will use the mass transit big time. So there's a proximity,
Yes.
it's very important. Because if you can just walk it to the site, to the convention site, that would be awesome. But if you're far away, you're looking 2 or 3 miles. For those that doesn't walk that much, I used to walk that many years ago, but not this time. I cannot be walking too long anymore.
Okay,
But for proximity,
we'll
is very
consider
important.
that, ma'am.
And also,
Yes, and also just
President was saying that it's possible that we could be probably having our own break session in the morning just to discuss things that are of common interest. So it's going to be a venue where all of us could be housed.
in the same,
Okay, then we can
Yes.
all be in one place.
In order for you to be meeting.
Yeah.
Because
we have to
I- I
consider
think-
as well.
we normally
Yes.
would either meet at breakfast or lunchtime or even after the day's ended to really discuss what we've learned. And I think that's very important, the
Yeah.
sharing
The
of
group, yeah.
information.
Yeah, the lunchtime is quite impossible because after
Yeah.
the
The short one,
the
right?
break sessions
Yeah,
are constantly moving, right? So the most is like as soon as we get off, like 7 or 8, is usually the time when all these things are over. Depends, right? You can have one over by 7 p.m.
anyway, the goal
breakfast-
is just to meet.
Yeah, the breakfast sessions would be very good because just in case you guys have any, and I tell you, you learn so much there. I can yield my seat to somebody else, but the accommodation is very important because if we're gonna be so far away from where we are, I forgot that we have so many teachers all over America that's gonna be there. That's gonna be.
That's why they
with-
would
with
go to
all-
Las
with
Vegas,
all the,
right?
some of them would be able to probably use the ARP money. just for this training. So you'll be surprised, you'll find many,
Many
many
people.
teachers there. Teachers, principals, what have you, that run private schools there. So, yeah, be
So-
ready for a thing of people there, for a kind of people there. Okay, let's go. ACT conference. Any more on
Yes.
the ACT aside from the competition?
Just one additional note, ma'am. Make sure that we have to, Miss Joyce has to verify the cost for the room because we have an allowable only a cap of 120. And if everyone is willing to pay extra, because if it's the closer it is to the venue, the more expensive it is. But for it to be funded locally, there is a cap, which is 120 per night. Right, Miss Joyce?
According to, yes,
Yeah.
Anything over that, we will have to be spending on with pocket, our own pocket.
Okay, Miss Joyce is working on all the available hotels according to the budget that we can afford as of this morning. She even found one for $86. So I don't know if that's really all the way, but she said it's still but like 1 minute, one mile away from the convention site. So she's been looking. She'll be a big help.
She's still looking.
Okay, anything else, trustees? Any on the ACT conference?
No.
The LDP training, Miss,
Yes, ma'am. I submitted my application the day before the deadline. We're just waiting for their response. It's already the application is there. So basically, they said that after they filter all the applications, they will email me if I'm accepted or was chosen. And I'll keep you posted, of course. When I get accepted, hopefully I do.
So no status yet. Then.
No
You're waiting
status.
for them to
They
let
will.
you know.
Yes, ma'am.
because I think they're based on the strength, one of the recommendation, two, as to really the caliber of the person attending. So those are usually the caliber people that attend the LDP. So, and that one should be good. This is the first time the charter school is represented. Because we are the first charter school. I hope the narrative did that. And the first charter school in Guam, and could share a lot more with the LDP group. Who knows, they don't want to go charter school also somewhere there.
Yes.
Okay, so carry on, CEO.
Carry on. Yes. For the report, federal grant, Miss Jamie, can you please help me update the board with how much we have expended?
Yes, one moment. Okay. So for ESF2, out of the 2,075,882 budget, 1,700,069. Oh, sorry, $1,769,918 was keyed in for the requisitions. We have about 730,777 and 1 cent of those requisitions that are pending purchase orders. Total requisitions converted to purchase orders is 1,039,141.47. So we have a difference of 305,963.52. Although the fiscal year 2022 has ended, we do have IAO informed us that if we still if we have funds, we can still use it. But as far as all budget items, all items have been requisitioned already. For ARP, out of the 4,061,749, 717,783.70 have been requisitions have been keyed in. Out of that, the 16,599.50 have been converted to purchase orders. The total requisitions pending purchase orders is 701,184.20. So we have a difference of 3,343,965.30.
February 2023. So keep on. Okay, that's very good.
Yes.
So
Yes.
the ESF is done as of September 22, right? 2022.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how much
We can roll
is your balance on the? What is with the balance? We're returning back to them.
No, we're still.
We still gonna- oh, so they-
We can still obligate it. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That's-
Go
And we
ahead
have all
and-
the
Yes.
all and all the requisitions has been keyed in, so we're just waiting for purchase orders now.
Yeah. And then yeah, so IAO said we can still obligate the funds, and so they're supposed to send an email regarding, because they haven't started with the fiscal year 2023. So every
Okay, good.
all the requisitions that have not been converted to purchase orders had to be we had to replace the requisitions to the fiscal year
To
2023. Yeah.
Meaning they allowed to roll it over, ma'am.
Yes.
So, yeah, okay, thank God. So the ESF, you're able to roll over. So you can still
Yes.
remind for more requisitions. What's ready?
No more. We already requested everything, ma'am. So everything, we're just really literally waiting for their
ESF?
purchase orders. Yes, ESF2, everything has been.
Did you already exhaust the ESF?
No.
There's
still a lot of
There's a
money
balance.
From our last meeting, there's a balance.
Yeah.
It's a balance.
Yes, but when you request it, definitely it's just because of the, again, we're under budget.
Under budget. Because the explanation to this, right, Miss Anne, is let's say we budget for 500,000 for one item, but the actual cost is 200. You know,
Yeah,
this
once
is
you
how
get the
that
big
became
orders,
200.
yeah, because of the bulk buying, because of the bulk buying.
So
The
even
different
though we
pricing,
budgeted
yeah.
for this amount, actual is different.
Yes,
This is the
because
reason
it's
why.
the price
Okay,
is lower.
okay.
Yeah, okay.
So make sure
that's
we
how it
exhaust
is.
all the fundings for that,
So
because
that's
ARP
why
is
the
still a
focus
long
on
way.
balance.
Yeah.
Okay,
And this happy.
any questions regarding the report on the DS and the ARP, right?
200,000. Yeah.
Always the case. This is always the case.
So this is,
We
okay,
can still use it, right?
okay, any
Yes,
questions?
yes,
Address
yes.
this? Okay, well, good. Okay, this is what I'm excited. Well, what's happening with the vacated commission, eco-commission
Yes,
office?
ma'am. So they're supposed to vacate Friday, last Friday, but due to the weather, they had to ask for extension. So they still have not turned over the keys because they are waiting for GTA to remove all their equipment for their internet and the network.
Where are they
But
located?
definitely this week.
You know?
They're
I'm
on
sorry,
the
ma'am?
Tower Bell.
Oh, the
Where are
Tower
you?
The Tower Bell. That's what they told me.
What's Tower Bell?
Remember?
Yeah.
Across the
Oh,
one
yeah.
station.
No,
The bell tower. The bell tower.
The bell tower. Oo naman.
The bell tower.
Where you work, Department of Labor, HR.
Yeah,
That's right. Oh, very
Tower
good.
Bell.
Yeah. Bell
The
tower.
bell tower. Because the bell
I
is
thought it was a
right.
restaurant.
Okay, I presume you, Miss Anne, you already have the use or the appointment.
What it's
or
meant for?
assignment of what we are gonna be, yeah, for it to be used.
Yes,
office
ma'am.
rooms and one.
Yes, so there's 3 office rooms that they use, and the 2 are already vacant and available. So we're slowly moving in the CRT and the ESL teachers, meant for our tiny eye as well, because the room that has the most soundproofing will be used for the tiny eye. And then there's one extra classroom, which is the old office, the biggest space. It's still bolted, so they haven't turned in the keys, but that will be the one for after school care and one extra classroom, because we have more than 10 wait lists again for the kindergarten. So I'm hoping that we can open it up for another classroom.
You mentioned after school care. Are we doing any after? We're already doing that, but it's funded through whatever we have, right? We're not tapping
Yes,
on because
it's
after school.
no local funds. It will be under the ARP map.
Yeah.
We're just
So this is gonna
finalizing
be
the
like-
details and the time and the classes that will be offered. Especially with the sports now. Some of the families, like siblings, the older ones are joining sports, but they couldn't join because the youngest one doesn't have a place to stay in. So as soon as we open the after school program, then we can hold more um, students to stay up to 5:30. But the tentative time that we chose is 2:15, which is from our dismissal to all the way to 4:30, and give us an allowance for 30 minutes to take care of, so that to make sure we close the school.
So that,
So that 5 o'clock will be closing the school. 2.5 hours.
Would be good.
Yes.
Yeah. 2:30.
But again, it's
because the parents will be coming out of work by 5 o'clock. So I don't know.
by 5 o'clock. Yes.
You might have a little bit more.
Yes. We just give allowance.
Yeah.
They get like a half day for all.
Yeah, just make sure that should work very well because that's so needed right now. That's what's heavily funded by EDA. We have 92 million still sitting on the after school care. You should put your farm into an after school care down south. That's a lot of money. Yeah. Because all the kids can go there and get dropped off by the bus and they can have activities there like weaving, reading.
Oh, no to any
Yeah.
fancy.
No, anything that they can
Anything?
do after school, yeah.
Uh,
Or even tutoring. Okay, go ahead, Miss Anne. Classroom repair. Oh my God. What is this?
Classroom repair and maintenance are all done.
Okay.
We're just waiting for Cortec to give them some time to address the main root of the leakage of the roofs. They have to seal it, but they're very fast in responding to our requests, especially during the rainy season. Then
So nice.
Part D, building C, D, E, maintenance, which is the painting and the roof. We have submitted requests for all the landings because the paint are coming out. So they did touch ups for the paint. So the landing area you would notice is cleaner now, and by the staircase. So they had to repair, do touch ups on the paint as well.
Make sure they're all non-skin. Non-skin paints.
for the four, yeah.
Yeah, but this is by the wall first, because you know how the paint is peeling off. So the walls going up the staircases are already has been addressed. They have been addressed.
Okay. Okay. That's actually
Letter E.
even this office looks good.
Yes, and that's locally funded, but it's even the lounge is already completed. So the lounge, or all the staff appreciates how the lounge looks like. It gives them uninterrupted time during their breaks and during their prep time, and rejuvenate part of their social emotional, so that they can go back to their classrooms well with rejuvenated after lunch or during their after their prep time.
Yeah, nice. Very nice. Go ahead, CEO. Keep on.
Okay, so letter F, teacher evaluation. Oh yes, sorry.
Go ahead, please. Letter F.
So inspection, it's the same. There has been they already sent them the last report that we got from the fire department. I sent it to Cortex so that they can do an assessment, and they're trying to figure out how they can adjust the fire escape, the staircase, and the railing. But every time we have a railing is not it's wiggling. There was one part in building E, they respond to us right away that right now they're looking into updating or how they would update the railings and the size of the railings and the staircase or the emergency staircase. That's where they're at right now, and they are gonna get back to me when they can start. Since they have the code for our padlocks, they will do work on weekends even without us being there. It's their building anyway, so they already asked permission. But as soon as they have workers available, then they will start the work.
Okay. The
Letter F.
teacher evaluation is the, but I don't know what is the relationship of mentorship, homeland security under teacher evaluation.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
maybe
I'm
those
just-
three topics. No,
Yeah, but not, the teacher
Yeah.
evaluation.
Yes.
there are
Should be
nothing to.
Letter F.
Okay.
So the teacher evaluation is completed. We updated the PTAP that we used to have, that the deans used to use. Miss Maria, Miss Sanchez, and I sat down and made sure we um looked into every aspect and the process of the PTAP evaluation. And the reason why we put it there is because the purpose of the PTAP is to help improve the teachers professionally, not to just give them bad markings. That's why I put down there. We have this mentorship program. Those who are and we base it from the data of the behavior referrals. Those who have issued so much behavior referrals somehow is related to their classroom management. So we have this mentorship program that we offered to the teachers to make sure that just so they know and they're not being evaluated actually. This is through the help of Mr. Crisostomo and Mr. Chaiguala. So they attended their first mentorship program. They were assisted on how to do classroom management basically. So before they get into the evaluation, they're given opportunities to learn more and improve themselves professionally. And then we also have training sessions for them. Already we did that. A few of the teachers were trained on SPED, how to make their lesson plans, to modify lesson plans for their students. We also have there's a lot of items that we already tried to start.
They're both not working.
Wow. Go ahead, CEO, sorry.
Yes. So those are just a few of the agency who started doing the training already to make sure that learning is the focus inside the classrooms of all the teachers from kindergarten to 12th grade. And thank you to Miss Joyce because she's been very helpful in contacting these agencies and putting us in their lineups right away. So last Friday we had our fire prevention already, and the students enjoyed it as well. Even it was meant for the elementary, but the middle schoolers really wanted to participate as well. So we're just trying to schedule them one at a time. But our calendar is so full, especially for this month of October, and it's about time because after the 2 years of online learning, and then we don't have interactions with these agencies, this is a very good time to get back onto it.
Okay.
Letter G, employee handbook. This is the time. Any more questions? Oh, sorry, Miss Flu. Or I think letter F.
Public health. DPHS. What's with
Department of Public Health.
What is with the public health?
Department of Public Health.
Are those all-
So this is under the ARP. We have 80 employees to be trained for their their health certificates. So the first batch already happened in May. So we have a second batch this coming November 4th, our November PD. So it's gonna be at 10:30 to 12:30. So 35 of our employees will go to public health to get their certification. They will be trained for about 3.5 hours and get their certification afterwards. This also helps us with how to handle the food and everything,
Yeah.
so that everyone is aware. Again, we're ready when it comes to shutdown again. Hopefully, not anymore. We can serve the food as well and have it delivered.
Can you share with the trustees what funding you use for the what funding you use for the certification of the health?
That's ARP, ma'am. So that has been approved ever since. But I requested Ms. Zandra to book us again for the second batch so that while the PO is still on, to fulfill the 80 employees that we requested for it. We also have
Next item.
yes, next item, employee handbook. This is very important. This is also the recommendation, but just to give you a history about it, in 2019, the administration during that time adopted the amendment for our employee handbook, where we have to consider the Fair Chances Hiring Policy Act, which means that we will require, or we try to follow the GCA law, wherein we do not ask for their clearances, police clearances and court clearances before the interview. But as you all know, we have this instance or circumstance as a school dealing with 75% with minors. We are actually exempted from this policy. So I recommend that we have to use our exemption, and basically moving forward, which the board has to vote on, let's use our exemption as a school, because it takes a while for us to hire, not knowing the history. We have to offer first. If we follow all these processes, when we are exempted to begin with. So I would request for you to vote on removing that amendment and basically claim the exemption as a school, so that we can just make the hiring process shorter.
The fair chance. The fair chance.
Oh, okay.
But,
And
Ms.
you want
Ann,
to
can you provide the trustees the appropriate wording on what should be deleted and what should it be replaced? Only
Yes.
because
So
of all this, it should now be that portion of the policy should be deleted and replaced by the one according to what Department of Labor and the council have actually advised us to use, right?
yes.
So
So
in
this is
any hiring, I think we should already state that by virtue
Yes,
of such and such provision of the law, that we are required to get all your clearances, court and police clearances. So that throws in all of this anxiety of coming in and waiting for the clearances and get challenged again on why we should be asking clearances at the outset. Okay, I think you should
Yes.
provide the trust. So I will table this.
Yes,
I
I
will
can
table
read it
this
to
for
you
now,
right
and when
now,
we-
ma'am. Yes, definitely. It's
No,
already.
I like that.
Yes, yes, yes. I have
like
the
that in black
paperwork
and
also. Yes, I have that in paper as well. But just to quote for voting purposes, because you have to vote on it. But there's a paperwork that it's just very short. It's based on FCHPA 22 GCA 6102 Section E, item number 3. The prohibition of this section of the Fair Hiring Chances Policy Act is entitling any position which requires that employee to work in close proximity proximity of programs that provides progress and services or direct care to minors. Basically, it's just saying that any organization that provides direct care to minors are exempted from the Fair Chances Hiring Policy Act.
Okay, any question? Well, trustee, I'll put that into motion. So let's vote on that. Put that into motion. The motion is to be able to adopt the section of the FCHPA to get that exemption in our personal policies. She recited that the narrative or the wording exactly extracted from the 22 GCA section 7 will have to be reflected in another cover. But for now, Anne is asking for this provision of the FCHPA except be revised, be the one reflected in our personal policy, and needs to be able to be
To include into her.
incorporated, right? Yeah. Motion,
I make the motion.
okay, seconded by, I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion by trustee Al, seconded by trustee trustee Rosie. It must be the food. So you need discussion? Because this is really what we're trying to do.
I like your suggestion earlier, where we want to see it
narrative.
in black and white,
Yeah.
honestly.
See what happened here?
Simply because, sometimes we really forget what is being said. And so
You
I
wanna
kind of,
read it, right?
I want to turn it around and do it first, the proposal, and
Good
then
point,
take
good point,
action.
because the FCHP.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
So it's
Madam Faye,
very specific.
Ms. Lu and Madam Faye, the legal counsel already put it into writing. If you would read the recommendation, this is the second time she recommended it. But definitely, what she's saying is that you as the board has to vote for it publicly.
This is, and we also, that is also copied to the trustees. This is the recommendation of the council to make sure that this is adopted accordingly. So the only thing that happened here is we did not have the narrative, but the narrative was
She
also
can
worded.
still give it to us, right?
Yeah,
She
but there
already
was
did.
already
It's already sent to by the board as well.
See it on the
It's
website.
already,
No, it's on your email.
On the website.
the website, after we approve this one.
Yeah.
Once you have this approved, it will all be reflected on the website.
You have to, this is the.
On the paper as well. And you have to sign
Yeah,
it.
the exchanges on this because of
So
because of the
it's,
personnel of
it's
the
the-
person.
so CEO, it's the exact language of
Yes,
the mandate.
yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
And it was already submitted to
Of the
us
council.
twice.
Okay,
This was the first one was when I requested for the legal opinion of the legal counsel. That was the first time. It already is stated as it is. And then the second time is the 3 days ago, or I think 4 days ago. I can share it if you wanted to see it.
It's emailed
Because
to
I'm
all of
reading
us.
off.
That's why we didn't
Yes.
complain because it's a simple trouble that they want to create, right?
Yeah.
So they reported Department of Labor.
And it
Department of
was
Labor-
emailed to the board, right?
Department of
Yes, it
Labor-
was emailed
Department of
twice
Labor-
to the board. I can share it to you so just
And
you
then-
can see that part right now.
As the
Yes.
board decided to her by an email that it's up to the board on whether they will hire you or not hire
and
you.
the board makes a decision. We don't make the decision.
Yeah, so
That's a
anyway,
day-to-day management issue.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, that was
And
very,
so,
that's very,
just-
very.
I'm asking this question because I read it all and
Yeah.
I don't remember, all I remember reading is that she's waiting for the legal counsel. That's all that I.
There was a,
read.
there was a council, there was there are a couple of emails from the council saying,
I did.
this is where we are.
I read it all, but
Yes.
I didn't get the one that says
The legal counsel.
follow the mandate.
Yeah, that was the same argument that she used with
Yes.
Department of Labor.
Okay,
That's why they
anyway,
did-
At least,
Okay.
if I would like to see that.
Put that in writing.
Yeah.
I mean, the,
Black and
it's
white.
black and
The
white.
one from the legal counsel.
Miss Sue, do you want to see it right now? Because I can share it and it was sent to the board.
No,
This
send
time.
it later.
Email.
Dan, send it
Yeah, that's
later.
okay.
Make it like an attachment to this agenda.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be great. Thank you, CEO.
Okay, now next, item H, billing for reduced paid lunch.
So we'll move it. Yeah, okay. Oh, let me just. Okay.
Wait,
Number eight.
backtrack. FCHA, are we adopting this? A motion to adopt the provisions of the FCHA as it applies to the Guahan Academy Charter School. No, we
That's
did
what,
not.
no, sir, that's the.
No, because you opened a discussion, so we need to finish the discussion. Any more concern? Any more discussion? Let's vote
Aye.
on adopting the FCHPA use exemption for GACs and, of course, whatever the language, wherever, whichever entity this applies. It definitely applies to GACs because we're handling a lot of minors here. Vote, please.
Yes, so the, Anne is gonna be sending us the,
Yes.
document.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, trustee Al. Thank you, trustee Rosie. Both have, eyes have it. Thank you. Billing for reduced pay plan, days, lunch, okay. What's happening here? And go ahead. Item H.
Is she, huh? Oh,
And
Anne, did you hear us?
now did you vote?
Yeah.
Already. Eyes have it.
We're now H. Anne, we're on H.
She lost.
Okay.
She's moving.
She's still there.
Can you hear us, Anne? I don't think she's hearing us.
Unless you hit a blind spot.
She's not moving, she's only one area. That's it. So get that.
Yeah.
Unless you hit a blind spot.
What is this student, review statements?
Hey, release you. Regular, federal.
I thought we always follow that word for the
Pre-release.
free reduce, yeah.
No, it's been a while that
Oh,
we have
okay.
not billed the student. No, we are kind of resurrecting the
Or you're billing
policy
them
of
now.
billing them. Remember last time, Madam
For
Freda?
tracking purposes.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I don't understand. You know, you can capture that with your POS. They are not using the POS for the
Yes, yeah.
longest time. So
And-
you present to the legislature $1 million budget, right?
Yeah.
And then you do not have a record to support that you are also feeding the kids that cannot pay.
That's right.
But when the last report I got from the CEO, it looks like about 90-some% of our students are free and reduced,
Oh,
but
see?
it's not documented properly.
Oh,
That's a
Then we-
requirement.
That's a
yeah, they have
requirement.
to.
And also when you go to CNP, that's why how you validate all the more that you need help because, you know, we cannot be paying this straight to noses of the, from the budget
And-
that's
Yeah.
given to us, right?
Is that her calling?
No, I'm calling her.
I don't think she can.
Can you hear us now?
Yes, I was on mute, sorry.
Yeah, that's the reason why we
You
cannot
was
hear you.
mute, okay.
Okay,
We're on the H
Did you
now.
hear me? Yes. So H would be
Okay.
billing for
Yeah.
reduced and paid lunch. There's only 150 to 120 students who are under the reduced price or reduced program and the ones who are paid. Everyone else,
Fine, right?
only the
and
reduced
we
one,
cannot,
but
and
there's
louder.
the highest
So you still have the majority. I was correct.
80.
You divide 120 by 65, how much? You're like 20%? So you get
40.
percentage, right?
Yeah.
But the free ones are 80%, man. 80% of our population are under the free. So meaning we cannot collect
Yeah,
from them.
yeah.
There's only 120 students who we will collect from.
But that's a big.
So that's just about
84%. 84, what about 84%?
Almost, because we
Yes.
have we have for population.
every yes, 85.
To collect the data.
82% are
Yeah.
free. Yes, we have the data.
We already have.
The same as the data. 82% is free, 5% is reduced, and then the remaining very little are they're just basically not under the free and reduced. They have to pay.
Yeah. Mission for meals.
16%.
800,000 or
800,000. Now she wants to revive the billing to the the reduced meal.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
but
Just for paper billing,
yeah,
just for tracking.
Yes.
You're
but
not-
she
you're
wants to
not-
collect
Yes.
kind of that
So basically,
we want
this
to,
November we're starting to collect from them.
drop all the.
Yeah.
Everybody was practically free for the longest time, right? Because you guys never tracked it.
Yes.
because
So you gotta send a
That's
memo to
extra
the
income
parents
for us
and
too.
That's a lot.
Yes, alright. Yeah.
send a memo to the
Definitely.
parents.
Yes, they are aware,
That
ma'am.
we are revived. We are now
They are aware.
instating meals to be charged accordingly, okay? So, yeah.
Yes, they are
And
aware,
then the
and we
breakdown of how-
already included in the PTO as well. So even our first PTO last September, they are all aware, and we sent out the letter ever
But-
since, and
Okay, so
that we're
you have a
collecting.
letter that we.
Yes,
Okay, good.
yes, we do.
Very good.
We follow everything as to the child nutrition program. So it's just a matter of our own way of collecting, but it's following all the process in compliance of child nutrition program.
Could you send us a copy of what you guys, how these guys went out to the parents, just in case? Because if the parents sees us and they haven't been charged for a long time and they're supposed to be paying, we didn't know
Yes,
that we already been stating, we already stating the.
They are
so
aware,
please
ma'am, because
give
we
the-
send them every month a letter regarding the meals, and then we even collected. We even they have to sign off. The letter that we send out, they really have to sign off if they are participating or
Very
not.
good.
That way we have a documentation that they have to participate or not.
Yeah.
And Miss Melissa has been very good
Very
in
good.
collecting all this information. So when they
Yes, thank you
say
very.
because previously we don't get those documentation, so we are just assuming. So this year we have a letter to show them why are you collecting, because you signed off on it. So we have backup for it.
Are you guys documenting the extra food that's not used? Because you should be able to get that on your meals program also. I put together a report for way back, a format that I used. I gave it to, considering she left us, right? There's a formula that you use for some of the spoilage, right? The spoilage or the not used. You know that, Beth?
Yes.
That goes
We
into
have
your,
that too.
goes into your meals. Okay,
Everything,
but I did
ma'am.
the formula
We have that.
on how you. So much
Even-
was issued, so much that did not get
Yes.
eaten, and then that, and also some of the.
Serve and then meals
Yeah.
disposed.
Yes, we have
and
that.
Disposed
then,
out, right?
meals
Yes, the
tie
number.
into the waste.
Yeah, but trying also to your budget. Do you really need that much
Yes.
money when not a lot of people are
Meals
eating it?
Yeah.
trays and then
Yeah.
budget.
Just make sure that's auditable,
Yeah.
because one day that will be sampled by your.
Yes.
That's one of the audit findings by USDA.
Yeah.
If they trace that, what do you
Yeah.
do with
You're
the
wasting
money?
that, yeah, you're wasting the money. Yeah. I used that from way back when
Yeah.
that other caterer that was so much spoilage. There was
Yeah.
so much food they never eat.
That's how when
Yeah.
they throw away the
Because
plastic.
the lady that owns that, whatever that place is,
Yeah.
the money. 4 squares, 3 squares, 5 squares. I could never like her food.
Of course.
I really cannot like her food. Because she maintains the same chef. And I know the chef's Filipino.
Oh, they're not changing the menu or
No,
not?
they have a different menu at the restaurant. Pero parang.
Oh, not here, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, we even have
Okay.
the monitoring system for the temperature control of the food, so that we avoid spoilage as well. And we're using all that.
Yes. Did we buy those cards for the temporary control? Because the vendor cannot buy it. Did we buy it? Is it already in?
Yes,
ARP money?
ARP.
Marami na sana kayong binili. Can you buy more? Because once you.
No, the temperature control. Yeah, they should provide that. No, but we do also check ourselves. We have to follow the temperature control basically before serving. So we're all doing everything as if we are CNP certified to just practice the vendor or the future vendor.
But starts with C. Cambro. Cambro is the best. Everything you buy in your kitchen, use Cambro because they will never, you will be able to have, it will never break. Even the student tray.
Quality is good.
Cambro, they have, when we took over this place, we have a lot of Cambro, I think. I don't know what happened.
You're changing it because it's already there.
It's all Cambro, please use Cambro. Don't use anything else but Cambro.
Okay. Parent student handbook? Alright.
It's up here again.
Yes. Yes. So next is item letter I. Yes, can you hear me? So these are the things that we updated in the parent student handbook just to review and refine to make it more adaptive to the current situation right now. So definitely with Miss Maria on board for discipline policies, we updated how we give the suspension, in-house suspension, and we had to include vaping because before we didn't have vaping. Cyberbullying is part of it. And then for the service learning hours too, we are independent from DOE. There was 2 years that we are exempted, or basically all public school students are exempted from the service learning hours during the year of 2020 and 2021. But upon the recommendation of Ms. Lu as well, because we know the importance of service learning hours, and since we are independent of GDOE, I have asked Ms. Sanchez in our policy for service learning hours. So we added service learning hours this year to adjust for the 9th grade to seniors. So basically, we just have to mirror. I said we have to mirror it on GDOE because we receive public school students anyway, so that we can keep track. So basically, at the end of the 4 years, they should have 75 service learning hours. Ms. Sanchez and Mr. B already met with our seniors and all the high school students, so they are aware. We even updated the forms so that they can bring it to communities who are willing to give them service learning hours. And everything will have to be approved by the principal or assistant principal just to make sure. And we also have to keep track of the service learning hours that every student earns and make sure it is included on RenWeb to make sure that at the end of the year they are ready.
I think
Yeah,
you can integrate a lot of your with your RenWeb.
yes. So that now at least paperwork, even though we have the paper trail for it, we still have it on RenWeb so that we have a centralized system basically of monitoring the number of hours of every student who's getting service learning hours. Part 3 is the cell phone policy. It's just been approved, so I signed off on it. Ms. Sanchez will be sending it out already this coming Thursday, because we have noticed that students have been using their cell phones for something else instead of a learning tool. They would post videos of themselves doing something not really nice, or they would use it for cyberbullying. So we have to make sure that we have a cell phone policy, and we're giving ourselves time to announce it first to parents and students. But they are also aware because we also have mentioned this in our latest PTO, so that they won't be surprised. And even the parents all agree because they are very involved now with their children. Part 4, BPWH busing services. This has been done. We already settled this. We are sending Mr. Mori once every day to just monitor as per approval also of as affirmation of the legal counsel as well. So this has been already implemented. We started this 3 weeks ago. And basically, Mr. Mori is just there to make sure that um, kids are in the right hats, the right areas when they get picked up. So far, there's no incident and the students are behaving well. Just the information or the back and forth information or communication with the parents really help because we have mitigation. We also did some trainings for the students on vaping because that's a common thing that they were doing once they go to the bus interchange, they would vape. So now they are aware that once they get caught, they will have to be reprimanded in school.
Your mom couldn't understand you. Yo, we cannot understand you.
Okay, sorry. So are we on the part that you didn't hear me on DPW? Can you hear me now?
Yes, better.
Now much better now. Before you were mumbling.
Better. Okay. Oh, sorry. I was walking.
There.
So, yes. So DPW, this has been ongoing. 3 weeks ago, we sent Mr. Mori to the bus interchange just to make sure that students are in the right areas before they get picked up by their village buses.
And you have a
We
background
did
in
have trainings for students. About now? Or am I talking too fast? Hello?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello? How about now?
Because there's a lot of. Yeah, much better now.
Okay. So I guess I have to speak slowly so you can hear me.
Yeah.
Here. So DPW is the same thing. I'll just repeat. We sent Mr. Mori to be at the bus interchange before the first bus leaves from school, just to make sure that all our students will be in their huts or the respective places before they get picked up by their village buses. It's just a report, and it's been going well. There's no violations. The communication between the parents and the administration really helped.
Okay. J, accreditation.
Accreditation and academics. This is very in line. We on our October PD, Professional Development Day, we had Mr. Joe Sanchez do an introduction training for the Smarter Balance assessment. So we had the first dibs on the training as the first charter school. Actually, they even said that they introduced us, or he was able to show our teachers how the assessment goes. It's very similar to ACT Aspire as well.
When can we get a like a sample copy of the test?
Oh, not yet, because it's still under procurement with DOE.
You're working on it.
No.
Even at GDOE doesn't have it yet. But the reason why we requested Mr. Joe Sanchez so that our teachers are already aware, so that the lessons that we will be providing is somehow related. We know that the standards that we are testing our students on in our quizzes, in our assignments, in our tests somehow mirrors how Smarter Balance assessment is all about. Because it involves critical thinking and reading comprehension basically. I also put Renaissance.
They can have practice tests and sample questions on the smart balance, right?
Yes, they do.
Is that training be?
Yes, so the
Training
training
in October, right?
the training that Mr.
they
Joe
should be
Francis
able-
showed us is more of a free tools that we can formulate somehow our line of
Yeah.
questions. So he showed, but there are limits to it. But at least he showed us or our teachers how to use the free program for smarter balance, and the teachers really enjoyed it because it was a hands-on experience as well because they went into themselves and tried to formulate questions using the free tools.
Absolutely.
Renaissance is under Smarter Balance because this is a new program that we actually have been paying for twice already in a year. But when Ms. Badet forwarded it to me like last year, what is it what it is for because she noticed it was paid for, but we did not actually fully utilize it in the past 2 years. So the full implementation already occurred this school year. We have made equipment readily available for each classroom so that during the homeroom or the advisor advisee first 15 minutes of the class every day, and after classes which we call the eye shine, we have set one in a week a time for our students to go into the program of Renaissance, and they are very aligned with the Smarter Balance as well. So it's a free tool. It's a tool wherein
Yeah.
students will be able to read certain suggestions from the program, and it's adaptive as well. Yes, and then they will be questions after they read it, and it will be graded.
The program that we're in, which is the direct
So,
instruction.
Yeah.
So it complements
Miss
that
Anne,
carry on.
My
Um,
grandkids
do
in
you
Las Vegas
have
are
a
going to
master plan
charter school.
as to how to ensure that
All
the
of them.
Renaissance continues and are being implemented
Yes.
faithfully and are being evaluated?
Yeah, that
Yes,
valuation.
it goes along with it. It has been, I've been in contact with the Renaissance people since January. And since the moment that we discovered that it was not fully, we paid for it, but we did not really utilize it. So I set forth a team who will handle the data and the administrative team. And all of us know how to monitor the system because it's self-assessment as well. It will be graded after each time. So if we need the report, basically I just ask Mr. Castro, let's do a report. I know it of course I know how to use it as well, but I have also delegated some people like Mr. Castro as an admin, and then there's one representative per middle, one in the middle school, one in the high school, just to look at the data to monitor where the reading levels are other than the teachers themselves, because they can monitor their students' reading level per homeroom. But of course, the admin and the curriculum and the DI also has access to the overall grading system.
That's actually, that's why I said this is progression now.
Yeah.
As we bring in Renaissance, the direct
Yes,
instruction
yeah.
methodology.
Because
This is really, because we always say, what happens now after grade 5, 6, the high grade? So the Renaissance will actually
take
the
you
rest
all
of that because they already have solid foundation
Yeah.
from the bottom line, right?
the right.
My always question is like, what happens now after we get out of DI? But somebody was trying to push the DI all the way to high school.
No, and it's not
And the
good for
design of the
high
DI,
school.
as I read it, is only up to
Elementary
elementary grade.
elementary
You cannot
grade.
push it up anymore.
No.
They did it with. Because
The goal, you're right, Madam Faye.
Yes.
Madam Faye, you're actually
Yeah.
right because the intention or the purpose of the DI program is after 5 years are able to transition all students into
Yeah.
a higher level. So what happens to them if we existing program, this one levels you up, and it's program from K to 12 as well. Additional information to the Renaissance as well is that we don't have to be reliant on an independent evaluation itself.
Evaluation.
Not only that, if I recall, and the assessment that was done by Dr. Sablan pointed to a high reading and math level or reading and spelling level at a very young
Yeah,
age of our
message.
students. Then as they get older on the age or on the
Is he
grade
on?
level, start
Okay,
to whittle
tell
on,
Daddy
they
Hero to
started
just stay
going
more
down.
study innocent.
So-
I should be leaving
So my
today.
worry
Whatever
is
you
how
want.
does the progression continues,
More
right?
study, Joe.
So because this is a very good, now having the renaissance and the smart
Okay,
balance
let's tell
and
Daddy
into
Hero to more
incorporating it
study.
with now for
Is
the
he
higher
sleeping?
grades, it will.
Okay, man, I should be
Oh, they're
coming
good
home pretty soon.
spellers.
Go to your
Oh,
class.
they're good.
I don't want you to
What
miss your
happens
class.
after that? Their English learning
Okay, take
and
care, love.
reading are just down.
But to me, a lot of it also
The reading
is
comprehension.
classroom observations.
Yeah,
Formal, informal.
yeah.
Because if that really can
All
work.
you have to do is
if
execute,
you-
yeah.
if
Very
the teacher
simple.
experience, that's why the mentorship is really good.
Yeah.
If the teacher spends more time trying to get the class in order, then I really was program.
It's all happening now
Because
they're in
it's
right?
happening now.
Yeah,
And we need that, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So thank God to
Rachel.
all these people that is continuously help and assist gags in some of the things that help the other classroom that makes them really a
And it helps the child to become a better student.
yeah. Because, that was my worry. Okay, because
Are
I
they
researched
learning?
and via instruction. Why are we doing this? They were trying to. I remember that guy. What's his name? He was trying to do a direct instruction all the way to the higher level.
No,
That,
it's not
that time
good.
I was so dumb. I said, oh, really?
This
Because
must
we're
be
in
for
DI, we're
elementary.
DI school. They're only third grade is the
Yeah.
most that you can get the best out of the DI program.
Yeah.
After that, what did you do?
Especially middle and high, you don't do that
Their
at all.
focus are
Yeah.
so out. So if
Yeah.
you don't have programs like this,
Yes.
how are you?
The most recent position that we filled is the elementary counselor, and we still have two left, which is the procurement officer and the personnel officer. So that Miss Jamie can concentrate on the accounting side to help to assist Miss Badet. So we're still trying to hopefully get our own our personnel officer. It's not in the also 35 sped teacher is what we need. Just to be hitting two birds in one. We one of our elementary teachers resigned, so we are opening up another elementary teacher, a vacancy for elementary teacher, which we have posted.
No, we're going to hire, yeah, because just recent.
Oh,
That one
recent,
elementary, yeah.
recent.
It's just recent, yeah. It's just recent.
Who is that?
It's Miss.
Who is that?
It's a new teacher, but she's a very good teacher. It's really a loss for that, but they're moving. The husband is in the military, so they have to move to the state side. But
Yes.
Samara, oh. Finance. Okay.
So I gave you all the, so anyway, the first on the finance is the FY 23, which you all know already, that we got $7,000, and then the 500 is a difference.
And didn't he say he was discussing it already, right?
Yeah.
To give us the fund.
Yeah. Yeah, we got, on the public, it's 7,000.
I
What
thought
is
it's 7,500.
Yeah.
No, they gave us the
We requested
7,000 now.
75, but they only down us to 7,000. But imagine we were 65.
Yeah.
It's getting better.
But he said
What
they're
was the rationale
assessing,
for not getting 7,000?
5,200.
not enough
The
money
budget, not
right
enough.
now.
No, we
So
got it.
anyway, but the $500 additional is supposed to be coming from the governor's office.
Governor's office, yeah.
From some kind of.
Unappropriated
from the-
excess.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's the hardest.
It's just there. It's in a paper, but let's see what will happen.
It's so nice to say, unappropriated funds are the hardest funds to find.
But remember what
Because-
Joe
If they
said,
are
the
because
minute he
you're-
sees it,
you're
he's giving us
looking
the
for it.
500.
They're
You're looking for
unappropriated.
it.
There is
Yeah.
a different page, it's all the way to the very end of the public law.
I
It's
know,
not
but
in
at least.
Actually, it's the
they
excess.
use-
Miss Madette, I believe it's the excess. It's an appropriated excess. So basically,
I
that's
know.
the excess of, yeah.
For the
It was
end, they're gonna
anticipated.
give us. That's what
Okay.
Joe promised.
Okay, Ms. Vedette,
Go ahead with
Okay.
it, because I need to go pretty soon.
do your report.
Yeah, from the FY, sorry, it's FY 23, not unappropriate. Yeah, FY
FY
22.
23.
No, FY 22 unappropriated.
22 only, 22, not 23. So that's really an excess of, that's why there's some risk.
From the FY 22.
What is
Oh, it's gonna go to 23?
32,500.
Okay,
So
that
they're
32
gonna carry over the,
82,500. There you go.
no, wait, one more time. What is $500 times 7,500?
Yeah, 382,500. It's open.
That should be easy, piece of cake from the governor's office.
It's a piece of cake.
That's just a,
That's 500
that's just a,
times 750
It's
students. equals-
382,500.
How much?
right there, it's 382.5. It's right there on your,
382,500.
yeah,
500.
that's the balance. If they're gonna give us 7,500.
Where do you get that unappropriated excess money, Mr. Al?
yeah, check the financial statements.
Yeah, I know.
Because it doesn't, there's no
I believe-
category.
Yeah.
There's no
It's
category.
unappropriated
why it's
funds.
I know, but you know, you're trying to, you have,
Okay, 10% of this from payroll. Okay.
yeah, so.
I already know where to get it, okay?
But it's-
Don't
But it
don't
is
mention it.
unappropriated
But wait, there you
excess funds.
It's excess, yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay,
You know
okay,
why?
okay.
Because
So
you have
it'll be there.
800,000. That's it.
Bear up.
This is where we're going to get the 382. This is our excess.
No, you know what
This
you
is our
can do?
excess.
You know what you can do with that?
We don't want, but we're gonna
It's
still
big,
use
it's
it, right?
You know what you can do with that?
Yeah.
I think we should go ahead and earmark that for, request the 380,000, so you can be able to use that to cover the 500 as per that section of that. See if that would fly.
Yeah.
The exact amount of the 500 on the additional cost
So-
of your operation of 75 per pupil, according to that part of that budget law,
Which is,
called that, and they said, can we encumber this for the deficiency of the budget provision that provided only 7,000.
which is 382 funds, right?
Sayang. That
Because
will
that's
go.
unappropriate, so you,
It's the same thing, it's the same thing of
Yeah,
last
yeah.
FY 21, we have
Yeah.
$800
Yeah.
unappropriated.
Yeah.
So the governor already took it outright from, when I was asking for additional funding, they said no more.
Yeah,
So like
so you
100
better
more.
encumber it
Like
now.
we can,
Yeah,
they were not able
do it,
to.
do it now.
Do it now. Yeah, now you have the permission of the.
So we'll beat them to the
Yeah,
punch,
because
because they might
Yeah.
think it again and
No,
say,
no, because the governor that will never come out of anything because it is unappropriated.
yeah,
But we have lapses, that anticipating lapses to complete the total budget projection of 22-23 to come out with 7,500. The deficiency will have to be taken from your
to
lapses.
come up with the 500 per
Yeah, and that
student.
will carry you through.
Yeah,
That will carry you through for 22-23. Because all your projection of your expenses is based on the 7,500. That's submitted to the board, to the legislature and to the board
Yeah.
accordingly. So, but you came back deficient. You're only 7,000 per pupil.
so
Need
take
to
that
demand
now
for
and
the
use it against-
700, take the 32,000, 300 some thousand, take it out of your lapses and encumber it now.
from our,
that
one
this
that
is
you
your,
said is
your
six-
reason, your
628.
explanation, your explanation should be,
to cover the,
not only that, to, what do you call, to avoid any hindrance and continuance of operation.
Yes,
School year
yes,
23.
yes. As simple as that, get it? To avoid the hindrance and discontinuance of operation, we need the additional 382,000. Therefore, we suggest, we request that it will be taken from this FY year 22-23 lapses.
Lapse
We call it lapses, brother? But they might not like the word lapses.
No,
But still, that's
That's
a,
a, kind of
This is-
there's a more there.
Yeah.
You don't say call it excess, lapses.
I know, that's
So
what
you
they
just
have.
have to say that we save you guys money. Oh, due to the use of due to
What kind of
due to
encumbrance will I use?
No,
to
no,
pay?
no,
Is a
no.
letter from
Due to
the-
the assistance of the ESF and ARP,
They save
we're able to
us.
use it on some other
Yeah.
expenses. We're able to save $800,000 on the local appropriation. Therefore, use that, di ba? Tama?
Yes,
Because we-
six
because
hundred
we
and twenty-eight
technically,
thousand.
if it's not for the ESF and ARP
We would have
money,
spent
we
up
will
all
be
our money.
able to use every,
Yeah.
every,
Yeah.
in excess of that,
Yeah.
because we were able to save money with, because most of those came out of the ESF and ARP money, so the major expenses come off.
So you
We
come up
are
with the
now
right
able to
wording.
save 800,000 due to the ESF and ARP assistance, funding
And that's
assistance,
really,
right?
and you're correct though, that's
Yeah.
really the one that helped
Yeah.
us save a lot
If
of
we can
money.
have that, we won't even have enough.
I know all what you're talking about, but what documentation, encumbrances is something like there is a document. That
Well,
I-
that's your
That
project.
is our budget. Our
Excuse
budget.
me, that's why you have 7,000, that you don't have to project that, you already projected it through the
In your
budget. You
budget.
submitted.
In your
The
budget.
budget you submitted says, this much is what we're gonna be spending for the year 22-23. Therefore, we're gonna be short.
Yeah.
Be short by
Then that's,
387,000.
that's
So
where you
that's
come
where
in.
you- That's where you take that money and add it onto your,
Yeah.
to
Because
complete your budget.
you cannot use ARP and ESF for your budget, for your salary or for other expenses that you already declared on your budget. Your number one document here is the budget you submitted,
That
and
we
highlight
submitted.
the fact that this is what we're asking and we're short this much. Therefore,
Yeah,
since we were
that one.
assisted, we have the ESF and ARP that funded some of our operation in 2022. We are requesting, we're kind of asking our assistant in appropriating or taking the 380 the deficiency and apply for your 22-23 budget.
Budget,
End
yeah.
of story.
Yeah, that's it.
Simple.
Okay, very good.
To avoid hindrance and continuation of
Anyway, it's our
operation.
own money and we're
Simple,
just.
huh? But, how do you call this?
Sabi mo 200,000 na lang matitira sa'yo. Is it
Which one?
true? Did you say how much realistically will be the end of the year?
This one,
Magkano nga?
No, but-
600.
How much?
But
Okay.
if you-
600.
I know that. I know what you're all talking about. This is 628,000.
You still have balance.
What I was trying to explain is this is what we did
No.
last appointment. When we were asking for the 100,000. The month of October.
Yes, yes.
We still did.
Right? Already the OA said no more. But even no more, I still have 800,000. No, it will go down to FY 22, the FY 21. What
Right.
happened to my FY 21? The explanation of the OA that the governor took everything, all the excess. Right there and then, look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true because it's local money.
Yeah,
But
so
now,
that's what I was trying
you go
to
ahead of the
say.
game. You
Now you
encumber-
encumber.
You go
Yeah.
ahead of the game.
Encumbrances is something
know,
like,
yes.
I did like everything, I encumbered everything. We did
Financial
spending,
plan.
But I don't have document, what is my encumbrance? Encumbrances is something like,
Yes.
what will I encumbrance? I'm just typing
Yeah.
why I did this.
Like, I think Miss Badet, Miss Badet, please correct, excuse me, Miss Badet, please correct me if I'm, I think what Miss Badet is trying to say is that there's no expense to justify why we have to request for that. Because we have paid everything already.
And the budget was approved, right?
No, your fiscal year ended already, you already encumbered it. I'm talking encumbering the next payroll
Next
session that
fiscal
you're gonna
year.
have.
It's not encumbrance, Madam Faye, it's a budget appropriation.
No,
I
no,
already
no, no.
budgeted.
No, your budget,
Yes,
right, but you're
But it's
short.
not enough money.
You're short. Looking forward or
You're
looking ahead
short.
of time, you want to be able to
382.
use the 382,000, projecting your 2 or 3
Yeah,
months
and I
budget
know-
equals to 382,000.
can I discuss it later?
Okay.
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 Okay,
Okay.
let's go.
Can,
Can we table that or?
Yeah,
can
she wants to
can I
discuss it later.
Well, yes,
How about
Table,
prior
we'll
year?
table.
That's right.
Prior years, don't worry about
I think we have to,
Prior year.
So,
That's
We'll
okay.
table it.
We're tabling it.
Calm down, calm down.
Okay.
I move to table, I move
Table A.
to table, the finance chair, report A and B and C. Is that correct?
no, it has to be big, only.
I move that we,
Huli yan.
I move that we table item
Yay.
number 3,
A.
Finance Chair A.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second,
Okay.
motion.
I
Second,
Let it
please.
The motion.
Motion made by trustee Lou, seconded by trustee Anatongo. Any discussion?
No.
Vote please. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much.
Maybe we need a
Prior
work
year,
session.
I
okay.
have it, thank you.
Let's
We
have a
still
work
didn't get
session.
our prize.
Anyway,
It's
Uh,
still awaiting release.
yeah, because
Prior year. probably
I'm
gonna
now
come.
waiting from DOA. It will be taken out of FY 22, as you can see here, right? I already
Yeah,
included it on the last part,
Oh.
104.
So that's
So
why you
this is the reason why.
reduced.
If any left over,
There is,
But-
if again,
if again.
if
Okay.
again.
That will be on the subject of
again.
discussion.
Yeah, allow.
Because
You're
President Rosa promised me last.
You're ready to
last-
reduce.
That's for, that, the leftover from everybody.
That's what I'm asking, you know.
That's not gax.
That's the tax.
And
Everybody else.
it's here already. She
But
put it
I-
in 104.
I already put 104 because Grace told me.
Okay. That's
Okay.
that's
Okay.
together with the
No problem,
382
no problem. Okay.
discussion.
Anyway,
Okay, so-
on the FY 22 RFP, we're already done. It's awarded
Audit.
to Ernst and Young.
Yeah.
So the price.
Oh, I'll
proposal
do
with,
that, Miss Badette. Can I just give Miss Badette, can I give the history for that just to make sure we are on pace? Letter C. Are we on letter C?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So when we opened this, Madam Faye and Mr. Al was there when we opened the original price bid. You instructed us to write a letter to request for negotiation from the original proposal. So what we did, what Ms. Badette and I did, was to call Ernst and Young representative and ask for a meeting to discuss for the negotiation of the price for the original price. And then it happened on October 7, and thank you, Mr. Al, for being there too to show support. But then in the discussion, we talked about why we wanted to request for a discount basically from the original 20,900 proposal for the first year of 2022. And then we explained to them that the same transactions are there. Everything is set. We're just continuing. So after the meeting, it was open to that this year we might have to go through the CFA, which is a single audit, which we did not do last year because although we are sub-recipient of federal funds, we did not reach the threshold of 750,000 last year because from ESF1 last year, we only received 500 some, right, Ms. Badette?
She's not here right now.
From the ESF1. Oh, okay. So basically, this year, as agreed, I had to call back Ernst and Young and make sure that this year we would probably have to go through the CFA schedule of expenditures of federal awards because, right, I know for a fact we still received a portion of the ESF1, and then we probably received 1 million already last year from ESF2, which reached therefore we reach our threshold of 750,000. After that phone call, they got back to us and said that they're gonna send a revised proposal. So when we received the price proposal, from 20,900 of 2022 from the original proposal, it went down to 19,000, which is a 10% decrease.
Right.
So they gave us a 1,900 decrease. We also confirmed with them that because they saw the budget that was allotted for the auditing, right, independent, and they were saying, why are you asking for discount when you already appropriated 36,000? So we explained that it's for the 2 years, that's why, but definitely it's just 1,900. And then the 2023, from original 21,300, it went down to 20,500, which is a 3.9% decrease. but the third year is still the same, which is 21,700. So I just responded this morning to confirm that we received the updated proposal and that Ms. Badet will contact them as to how to move forward. But just heads up, definitely we would have to they would probably bill us more when we do the single audit on the federal funds.
The end of the federal programs are 23 and we have one that's probably just wrapped up in October, which is the ESF, right? The single audits, I'm not going to worry about that.
Yes.
You guys are very organized in keeping our books.
Yeah.
So it's just just the same thing as, but that's book that they're going to be looking into. I mean, as long as we can account for all the inventories and all the numbers that, according to what was given to us by GDOE, I'm not going to be worried about the single audit. So again, that's not reason for them to bring it up because that could be, we don't know whether they're going to be the single auditors that will be doing that. The feds will probably bring in somebody else.
For the audit of the.
The problem with.
But
these
all
auditors is that
sub-recipients would be following the uniform guidance.
when we already
part of
have
it.
our system, that's what Miss Anne is saying. Why are you doing this when we already have a clean audit? You must understand our
Follow
system.
it, yeah.
Yeah, and it's all the same category that we're gonna be looking into. We're not involved. No, it's a different story. I think and Arn's correct. By the time we get into the building project,
Yeah.
that would be a different. So there's additional items or a few items that will be added in our this financials, right? That's a different story. But then we'll cross the bridge when it's there.
Yeah.
But thank you. At least they were able to
But,
bring down these costs.
Yes.
Miss Anne?
But just heads up again, this year, yes, ma'am, but just besides the fact that we're having our own building, I'm most likely sure, I'm definite that we will have to do something different because of the uniform guidance. All sub-recipients of federal grants are supposed to fill out that CFA form, which means that there's a separate auditing for all assets, fixed assets received from the federal grants. So that's the one that will be separate from the regular.
Will be the first one since they are the
Yeah.
single, since they are the recipient of most of the.
Yeah, we're
We're
sub-recipients.
sub-recipient only.
That's it.
If they
Yes.
get the single audit,
Yes,
that's why,
yes, we would have to, sir. I really did the research on that because the reason why we didn't get the single audit or the uniform guidance last year is because we did not reach the threshold of 750,000. We only received, I believe 500. Ms. Badet, can you correct me on the amount that we received from ESF1? We did not reach the 750,000.
This is,
specific amount, because it's not gonna waste their time with like $200,000.
Yes.
But yeah.
So when you reach 750,000, which I'm sure this finance year we already reached that threshold of 750,000 because definitely we received 1 million already last year. Then we have to follow that uniform guidance, which is, but they will let us know definitely how to proceed with that.
they don't know.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Thanks, Anne.
Thank you.
IFP na,
Who done
Ms.
Yeah,
Badet,
IFB, just to let you know.
you're extending it?
No, we extended it already. Yeah, go ahead, Miss Anne.
Oh, yeah. to
No, go ahead.
So it's in.
It was already right. You had the vendor sign on it already. Please proceed.
Okay.
What's the
He wants you to
pagkain?
proceed.
Okay, no, the IFB, just for everyone to know that
We should have a
we extended
special food plate for them.
the submission, the deadline submission of the offer to November 16th.
Correct.
So the food vendor still has, so far only 3 vendors they pick up a packet from the website. So and I'm not going to say who are they right now because it's still, but let's see until November 16 when the
When you're
deadline-
gonna open it up. Okay.
So, and then the FY 20 budget appropriation balance, I just sent it to you, right? I just showed it to you. And then the profit and loss and the balance sheet is preliminary. Okay, so I just finished all the GL adjustments, inclusive of all the ESL.
You're awesome, Miss B. This is good.
Yeah,
This
so,
should
and
see
you
the
can
one
see
that's
this is what
for the auditors.
for the audit.
Okay, so
And this is
It's
what,
ready.
and this is what Miss
They
Anne
don't
is
have to do a
saying.
lot of work
Yeah.
already. They see
And this
it,
is what
everything.
Miss Anne is saying, that the federal grant is already 1 million.
It's close.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
close to 1,010,000 on the profit and loss.
Yeah.
So this is what I sent this to Miss Anne earlier. So we already from the consolidated grant to SF1 to on the balance sheet, okay? On the
Yeah.
profit and loss, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And the federal funding.
Oh, you did
the revenue.
everything already, yeah?
Yeah.
It's already disclosed.
Yeah, it's already, I just finished it this morning, everything, but I still need to review because this is a preliminary before, and then we are ready for the audit.
Okay.
Okay, so
Good, everything
uh,
good.
we are ready for the audit.
Yeah,
We're
we're
done?
waiting
Here's the report.
Yeah, so yeah, this is the preliminaries. I will still review one more time. And
Okay.
if everything is in line with the one more analysis, so that's
Okay.
that's my portion of the
Fiscal year.
the fiscal year and the financial
Okay,
report.
any questions, trustees, on the financial report by Ms. Badet?
No, I think it's
Okay.
really good what you did.
Motion to
This is
accept the
the
financial
one-
report,
Okay.
We just go ahead.
I make a motion to approve the finance chair's report.
okay?
I
Any
second.
Thank you. Financial report, a motion by trustee Al, second by trustee Hannah Tondo. Thank you so much. Executive session, anything on executive session? None? None, if there's none, I have one question that I need to ask. Oh, USDA,
That's my next project.
no, WBF, did he come back to meet
Not
with
yet,
us?
not yet.
Can you just hold it again, because
Okay.
Jackie's, council is.
Yeah, so yeah, we can, this is a part of the agenda.
It's not part of the agenda. Okay, no motion to adjourn.
I so move.
Okay, yeah.
Motion to adjourn by trustee Lou, seconded by, a motion by trustee Tongo for adjournment, seconded by trustee Nicholas. Any discussion? So
None.
move. Thank you.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
we're finished.
Speak.
Okay. Okay, we're done.
Wait, madam.
We're gonna turn off the.
Okay.
Last time we spoke to the council, Attorney Perlaje.
Recording stopped.
Goodbye, everyone. I just have to